future of our family will be determined in these next few months. We could establish a dynasty that will last 1,000 years. Or we could collapse into nothing, as the Targaryens did.
We talked about the overall significance of the house sigils in Game of Thrones in our video about the Starks, which you can watch by clicking on the eye in the top right corner here or at the end of this video. So now let's dig into the symbolism of the Lannisters. The Lannisters sigil, a gold lion on a crimson field, projects royalty and nobility. The symbols come from a centuries-old lineage, but the current image of the Lannisters has been crafted by Tywin Lannister.
It's the family name that lives on. It's all that lives on. Not your personal glory, not your honor, but family.
Tywin's own father, Tytos, was known as a weak man who was mocked and taken advantage of by even his mistress.
A weak man who nearly destroyed our house and name.
So proud, Tywin resolved to create a better reputation for his family, and he values that image and appearance of Lannister greatness above all else. Key to the Lannister nature is that interplay between perfect outer appearance and the uglier reality underneath.
Everything they say is true about Jaime and me.
No.
Your legacy is a lie.
No. I don't believe you.
The Lannisters as a house embody pride and the will of the self, or ego, which includes self-gain or selfishness, self-creation, and, as represented by incest between twins, self-love.
Everyone who isn't us is an enemy.
The official Lannister motto, "Hear me roar," underlines the lion's power, strength, and ferocity that the Lannisters want to project, but this motto is rarely used. Behind closed doors, the Lannisters are defined by their unofficial saying.
A Lannister always pays his debts.
And remind her that Lannisters pay their debts.
Tell him the Lannisters aren't the only ones who pay their debts.
A Lannister always
Don't
pays...
say it. Don't fucking say it.
On one level, the saying reminds everyone that the Lannisters are rich. Their wealth defines them. They're the haves and proud of it.
More gold than you can spend if you lived 1,000 years.
The words position them almost as the Bank of King's Landing. They understand that in their ultra-political world, perception is everything. They can trade on their reputation for having money and being reliable.
I will be in your debt. I will owe you gold.
On the literal level, a Lannister always pays his debts means they can be trusted to pay back favors or loans, but the motto has a dark flip side. If wronged, a Lannister will seek revenge, and this reputation is also valuable.
You're going to die for quite a while.
While the outer motto embodies the royal image the Lannisters would like people to see, their true motto tells us what the Lannisters really value most: their riches, their manipulative wits, and their vengeance.
I wonder if you're the worst person I've ever met.
The Lannister colors, gold and crimson, signal their desire to be royal. Gold is the color of a crown, and the color of the precious metal or money. So gold indicates sophistication, prosperity, and rule. It's an eye-catching color that demands attention. We associate gold with being the best, as in a gold medal.
Magnificent.
Just as the Lannisters see themselves as superior to everyone else. Gold is linked to masculine energy, the power of the sun, wisdom, and enlightenment. We picture gold as illuminating its surroundings, as the wealthy and cultured Lannisters might want to be seen. While in reality, the Lannisters expose who they actually are only in the shadows, never out in the open of golden daylight. The Lannisters' picture-perfect looks and golden hair likewise echo this sunny, false appearance that couldn't be further from their ruthless inner selves.
I will hurt you for this. A day will come when you think you're safe and happy, and your joy will turn to ashes in your mouth. And you will know the debt is paid.
Get out.
Meanwhile, the golden hair and green eyes, typical of the Lannisters' appearance, remind us of their money and greed. Thinking of oneself as gold, as the best, and focusing on amassing gold are deeply egotistical behaviors. Cersei's character embodies the Lannister narcissism. She loves only herself, her twin, Jaime, and her offspring, all extensions of self. Crimson, too, indicates nobility and status. This upscale red is infused with the royalty of purple. In the Elizabethan era in Britain, only royalty and the wealthy were allowed to wear the color. The Greeks and Romans used crimson for military robes. Yet the Lannisters aren't true royalty. They grasp at power. Each one gains power through social climbing and proximity to royalty. Tywin was the hand of the king, Jaime was in the king's guard, and Cersei married King Robert Baratheon and destined her children to be kings.
Long may he reign.
Even while maintaining their pure Lannister blood.
My brother's worth 1,000 of your friend.
Your brother? Or your lover?
So the Lannisters' noble colors tell us not who the Lannisters really are, but who they want to be and be seen as.
You're talking to a king!
The crimson and gold reflect the Lannisters' desire to rule and their fierce will to dominate over others.
The house that puts family first will always defeat the house that puts the whims and wishes of its sons and daughters first.
The lion on the Lannister sigil shows the family likes to imagine themselves as the rulers of the kingdom.
A lion doesn't concern himself with the opinions of the sheep.
The kings of the jungle, lions symbolize wisdom, power, dignity, and, like the Lannister colors, royalty. To others, the crafty Lannisters might be better represented by a snake. Yet the Lannisters truly have created their house into something strong and majestic, like a lion. No animal on Earth can rival a lion. But in Westeros, there are also dragons, and the biggest threat to the Lannisters comes from the mythical superhuman power of Targaryen blood. The Lannister who truly doesn't fit the house personality is Tyrion.
I would let myself be consumed by maggots before mocking the family name and making you heir to Casterly Rock.
Hated by his father and sister, Tyrion copes with his situation of being wealthy and privileged yet despised, with wine and a cynical wit.
To the proud Lannister children, the dwarf, the cripple, and the mother of madness.
But now that he's found Daenerys, unlike the other Lannisters, he's found a greater purpose to live for.
Tyrion Lannister, I name you Hand of the Queen.
And started to believe in a deeper magic than wealth or power. A long-running fan theory believes Tyrion is also a Targaryen, that the Mad King may have impregnated his mother Joanna. But either way, it's safe to say he's not a Lannister in the mold of his father, at heart.
You're no son of mine.
I am your son. I have always been your son.
In recent seasons, Jaime has shown an un-Lannister chivalrous side,
Thank you. My life.
while Cersei's youngest child, Tommen, actually seems to have the potential to be a good and kind king.
What kind of king do you think you'll be?
A good king?
I think so as well.
But, spoiler alert, this goodness of Tommen's isn't rewarded or allowed to exist in the Lannister world. Cersei's love for Jaime and even her children can't overrule her own egotistical agenda.
I choose violence.
Altogether, the Lannister symbols represent a duality. Their outer image signifies noble blood, royalty, and legitimate rule. Yet their inner world boils down to money, secrets, grudges, illegitimacy, and power plays in the shadows.
House Lannister has no rival.
After the Lannister family line is weakened by the end of Season 6, the image of Cersei on the Iron Throne, a childless mother with no future to her bloodline, represents more acutely than ever the symbolism of the ego trying to dominate for its own sake with no greater purpose. The Lannister self will never back down in its mission to win, to rule, and to shine.
There are no men like me. Only me.